and welcome. I'm so excited to be chatting with one of my favorite people, Miss Carolyn Issacs, today, and her beautiful granddaughter, Isla. Did I get that right?
Hi, is that you, Isla? Yes, Isla.
Hi, Isla. Well, Carolyn, I'm so pleased that you're here today. But those of you who may not know Carolyn as well, Carolyn has experienced some really cool breakthroughs lately, and whenever we find someone in the community who's finding a thread to do it in a way that's super effective and getting great results, we want to share it with all of you. So Carolyn's gracious enough to come on and tell us a little bit about what she's been doing to create such great results in her life, and to share that with all of us so that each of you can begin getting breakthroughs in whatever it is that you've been setting your intention for and delegating. So Carolyn, thank you again so much for coming on today. Really appreciate your time.
Well, you're welcome. I'm excited to share.
So Carolyn, first tell us a little bit about some of the breakthroughs that you've been having lately, some of the results you've been getting that you weren't getting before.
Well, so in particular, I just have had a complete change in my mindset about the story that I've written for my life and, you know, what has been happening with me. I owe so much to Thatch for that. But really, he first helped me with finding my why and helping me understand, you know, what it is I'm about. And he didn't do that directly. He did that indirectly by going through the mastery program and really questioning, you know, what I was doing and why I was doing it. And so I changed direction, career, which has just been just a blessing. And also, I apologize here. Let's get down there with it. Okay, sorry. And recently, he had me speak with Ron Padalowski. I say his name wrong. Ron.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you say his last name?
Oh, you know, it's escaping me. I know. It'll come to me. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, with the P. And he really helped me and about rewriting my story. And I had told him that after recognizing that my story was kind of messed up about being loved and unloved and such, that I also recognized that I had written a story about my financial well-being as well. And I had an aha moment as I was considering, how do I change that? How do I do that? And I work part-time on the weekends at a jewelry store just to kind of supplement my income until Wi-Fi is up and running full steam, which we're about ready to start a new workshop series, and it's going to be very good. We're very excited. It's in partnership with City U, so it's going to be really good. And
very good.
So things are really pushing forward with Wi-Fi Ventures. But in the meantime, I've been working a part-time job selling jewelry, and I put in my head that I only needed to sell $30,000 a month in order to cover my basic expenses. And so guess how much I sold every month? About 30.
I'm guessing right around 30.
And I barely covered my expenses. And so if I ever had anything come up that, you know, was more than my expenses, then I felt a little stretched and had to, you know, make things work. And so it occurred to me, why was I limiting myself? Why was I putting a limit on how much I could make at the jewelry store? So I started the first of our fiscal month is different than the, you know, first through the 31st. It's a sales month. And at the first of the month, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to just say I have unlimited potential for sales and revenue. And my very first weekend, I did 27,000. And I've done
your first weekend.
First weekend,
so you're doing 40,000 a month, and then now you're doing 27,000 in a weekend.
In a weekend, and then I did 13,000 the next weekend, and then I did 10,000 the next weekend, and I'm projecting about another 20 to 30 the last weekend of the month. But of course, I'm not setting that as a limitation.
Right.
I just know that there's potential for that and possibly more or something better, right?
Something better, exactly.
And so
go ahead.
And so I've been practicing how I can apply that to other areas of my life in terms of recognizing where I limit myself with my thinking, own thinking and how I can change that thinking and really have the freedom to let the things that I desire flow to me by just giving up that resistance, you know? So it's great. It's happening all around me, and it's great. It's exciting.
So tell me a little bit about how you're asking differently, because I hear that this is a holistic shift in your mindset. So before we ask that, take me back to where your mindset was before. When you were like, what was different about how you were thinking about what was possible?
Well, I think a big part of it too is that the whole emphasis on we get to choose. We get to choose what it all looks like. And I have to say that reading Ask and It Is Given, I read a chapter every morning, has really helped me open up that I am source. I am source. And I get to choose and create whatever I want to create. I just have to put that right energy and attitude and happiness factor out there. And I recently listened to a great video by Sean Acor, who is a doctor of psychology and brain researcher at Harvard. And he's done years and years of research on happiness. And he says it boils down to three things: that happiness is a choice, happiness spreads, right? You smile and people smile, you laugh and people laugh, and that it's an advantage. So it really puts you in a place of advantage. And not just because, but that is much deeper, because as you know, if you can be in a happy place and in alignment with your desires, then your desires are free to come and flow to you. And so that's been a big factor. So I really have the mindset now of being open and choosing to be happy. I choose happiness. So even when people are being negative around me or whatever, I start singing a goofy song or something to change just the whole attitude and the feel, and it's a happy thing, and people laugh, and it changes the mood, it changes the topic, and it keeps me in a place so I can protect myself from that negativity that might be around me. So yeah, I choose happiness. And I have a great business partner who chooses happiness, so it's perfect.
It's wonderful too. And being a leader and choosing to set the tone not only for yourself but for those around you, knowing, like you said, that you have the power of that choice.
Yes.
That you get to choose what it is, who you're being, how you're feeling, which then kind of gives you a different perspective on what is possible.
Exactly. All
things are possible. That's right. So I remember you saying before that sometimes delegation had been kind of tricky for you. Yes. That the concept of "fuck how" doesn't work for me. So tell me a little bit about what was tricky about delegation before, and then what you shifted to be able to open up these great results that you're getting right now.
That's a good question too, Stephanie. So before, I come from a very strong sales background. I've done sales all my life, and it's always been you put stuff in the funnel and you get this out of the bottom, right? So yeah, I was very results oriented, that I had to do in order to get. And so it just seemed too magical to me that I could simply desire and have those things come to me. And
it felt unrealistic, magical thinking.
Yes. And so, and actually the whole "fuck how" doesn't actually work for me either. And it wasn't until Barbara and I came up with allow. That I like get it. Now I can get it. I can open up and allow and receive, especially knowing that it's my choice to be at a vibrational level that allows and doesn't resist it. So rather than saying, well, I don't know how it's going to happen, I just say allow, and then I feel
allow.
Yes. Yeah.
I really love how you found a way to find the right language that made it your own, that opened up, well, I guess more just dropped any resistance to whatever it was that was in the way. Yes. And for you to and it's still very it's still a very flowing process of aligning with what you want and then allowing it to show up. It's so well done, so well done.
Yep.
It's very so. Your trick for delegation is allow.
Yes.
Versus yes, yes. And so, what are you noticing as you're putting that focus on beingness? You were talking before about your experience was do, pour in the top of the funnel, do. What are you noticing is really, what are you noticing about when you're shifting to that place of beingness rather than doingness?
So it's about putting out there what it is that I desire and sharing that with other people. So as I give the gift and build relationships and they ask me, what do I need? Then I can ask for that. Or if, you know, really wonderful opportunity where it's win-win situations that we have an opportunity to meet with this gentleman today, and we're going to offer him an opportunity that benefits the both of us. It's an opportunity to serve at Wine, Women, and Shoes, which is being done for Olive Crest, which is for foster children and families in need, in distress, families in distress. So they need someone to do the videography and taping of it, and they need someone to do the interviewing. And for us, it's an opportunity to add material to our documentary, our Where's Your Wise Spot documentary. So it's a win-win. And you know, it's an in-kind donation for both of us, and it's just a great opportunity. We're excited to share it with them. So
excellent. So, I'm hearing that there's sort of a two-step process. It's the putting yourself in a space of feeling good, feeling a way that is your energy is aligned with what you want, asking for what it is that you want very clearly, and then allowing it to show up.
Yes,
is what. This is very, very compelling. So if you were giving advice to someone who's feeling frustrated, I'm asking, I think I'm being clear, I'm putting myself out there over and over and over again, and I'm not getting the results that I want, and they're feeling frustrated, what advice would you offer them? What counsel would you give based upon your experience?
So I would say take a really deep breath and make sure that you know, there really is a lot about that whole resistance and thinking about you know, what you don't want, and really putting forward what you're being very happy in where you are. And that happiness factor is really about being happy right now, like right here in this situation with everything that's going on, knowing that you can allow greater things to come to you. And if you can relax and allow it to happen, and just stay very positive and in a good place with your energy and happy, and choose happiness, and choose your mood. You know, great leaders are guardians of the mood and architects of the future, and they do that through actually maintaining and, like you said, directing the mood. And so that's my job, is to do that for myself and as an example to those around me. So yeah.
Excellent. It's
really
and what you say is one. Sorry.
I said it's actually kind of simple when you
You know, that's one of the things that we find, right? Is that it's almost so simple that it's like, is this all we really have to do? Just feel good, choose happiness, be aligned, ask for it, and then allow it to show up. Because it is so simple. It isn't always easy. It isn't always easy when life is throwing stuff that just we think, how can I possibly feel good? How can I possibly choose happiness in this moment? Yet there always is a choice. Yes. There always is that. And so is there any one little tip that you found that is your turning point for being able to choose happiness, or maybe your trick for allowing when your previous skill set had been to control or make things happen? what is your tip for how you've shifted to allowing rather than making it happen?
Well, like I said, I just kind of relaxed, and instead of action, it's inspired action. So when I felt inspired to do something or to reach out to someone or contact someone, or I feel connection, it's inspired action instead of forced action. And then as far as keeping the mood, sometimes it's harder to fall into appreciation when you're in a situation with other people or things like that. So I used to sing this silly song when I was a little kid, and I'll just start singing that song. And like I said, it affects the people around me, and they're like, oh, you know, they kind of roll their eyes, and it's just kind of a silly way to break whatever negative mood there is, and just say, it's not that crazy, you people. Just sing a happy little song and go on your way. Because really, don't sweat the small stuff. Surely don't sweat the small stuff. It really is small stuff. So that you do have the energy to deal with stuff when it is the big stuff. So, and I'm very fortunate, knock on wood, that I haven't had a lot of big stuff to deal with. So, you know, so the small stuff is easy. Yeah, crumbs on the floor, cookies for breakfast.
That's all right. As you're seeing that opening up and to the idea that anything is possible, and you're going from generating $30,000 in a month to $27,000 in a weekend, what is that opening up for you in your mindset of what's possible in the big picture for you? How is that shifting your mindset of what's possible?
Well, it's now unlimited, and I truly believe that I don't know what the universe has necessarily in store for me. I need to take inspired action. I need to do the things. I need to create the opportunities for relationships and things to happen. But I don't know, you know, how much that might bring to me. I don't know how many clients we might get from our workshops. I don't know, you know, what type of engagements there'll be. So in my mind, there's truly unlimited potential. I could make, you know, I can make an unlimited amount of money depending upon the, she's hungry, can you tell?
Yeah.
Depending upon, you know, those factors. And I have no expectations. I'm just in a place of abundance and not need. And therefore, I can just get. I know, honey, you're hungry. Yeah, we'll get you something.
I know, poor baby. Well, I'll let you go here in a second. Like, you have such great wealth of knowledge, Carolyn. I love being able to extract your brilliance and wisdom and the nuggets of cool lessons that you're learning from this particular piece. It's so clear to me how what you're earning at your part-time job is a microcosm of the process you will use to manifest everything you want in every area of your life at whatever level that you choose to play at. And so I'm seeing this as like here's a little mini application in an area that same process will apply no matter where you go. Moo. I thank you so much for taking your time to share your experience with us. I know that what you've said is going to make a difference, and people are going to have some great takeaways and ahas from sharing and from you sharing. And so thank you so much for sharing your inspirational story, for inspiring those around you to see also that anything is possible, to dream a little bigger, and to realize that align, ask, and allow is a process that will allow for any of us to create what we want. So
that's right.
Thank you again so much, Carolyn. I really appreciate you and your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.